Welcome back. Good afternoon and welcome to Copper Coins Coin Roll Hunt Reveal E543, a Fed Reserve of St. Louis original wrapped roll. How is everybody doing today? Dan is here. All right, Dan. Wait for a couple other people to get here and we will get this roll rolling. Do plan on doing the 84p roll for sure tomorrow. Might do the 40p roll tomorrow too. Not sure about that. I got a dog. I move stuff around and she is just sniffing. Come here. Go lay. Come on. Lay down, Pete. All right. Shows we got 4 people viewing. No people chatting. Kenamine, welcome. We will go ahead and open this roll up. This has got one of those cardboard plugs in the end. Frank McCain, welcome back. All right, well, we're going to get this roll started with Tim Weber. We have double die obverses and reverses and rolling machine wax. The little rubber skid mark, this was sitting there while the counter was holding it back. And we got the ender also. I'm fortunate, Ken of mine. I've got a lot of health issues. My eyes are not one of them. And for a hobby like this, that's a blessing. I will be looking at the obverse and reverse until I learn, pick out some die pairs. Ooh, look at the die chips down that column 12. Is column 1 the same way? No. Column 11 and 10 are starting to crack too. Blaine, welcome. Hope all is well. Coin number 3, Paul Hampton. Got that little die dot near the D. We'll remember that. Got a little die dot in the... Oh, got a big die dot right there. All right, so we've got some markers on this coin. Worn die crack. Nothing on the obverse. You will notice when I do the reverse of the memorial, I concentrate, especially the 60s, 50s and 60s, on the designer initials. Because almost all the reverse doubled dies, well, not all of them, almost all of them, you will spot it on the FG. And those coins, they have to have full steps. I'll show you. Different die pair here. Large die scratches through the date. on any of the 60s coins, that's got to be like really good. It can't have this little, it's like nickels. It can't have that little hump in them right there. I wouldn't even consider it if the coin looks like that on the reverse. Because if it's like that, you won't even make the money that you spend grading it, or it wouldn't even be worth. Now, if you just want it to grade it, for storage and stuff like that, then by all means. But I am not a big proponent on just sending coins in unless you really know. What do we got here? That is minor. But we got a split lower and upper serif. Not sure. We'll have to see if this is going to be enough, but let's see if it's listed. Could be. Those die scratches should make it. Well, let's look at this. That actually looks like it, but different die state. See if there's anything. Look at the reverse. All right, that's not there. This could be. So let's go back to the obverse. That definitely could be it. But it would be a different die state. So let me keep looking. Here's another similar one, but nothing to match it up. Well, nothing conclusive, so I'll put it aside. There is one that it is very close. I have to do some overlays and stuff like that. They actually do take wire brushes to the dies to clean off the slag and stuff like that, and that's where these scratches all come from. Man, you ain't comfortable yet, dog? A little later die state on the reverse. See, like this, it's very not well struck on the steps, Robert. Yeah, I moved my office around, and I moved where the dog bed in the office is. And this dog has worked for 20 minutes, scraping and scratching and trying to make it look better and feel better. And she's having fun, I guess. I do plan on searching some coins. I got a big old bag of pocket change that I got to search. And then I've got a bunch of boxes of miscellaneous stuff that I would love to go to, because when I was buying from this one dealer, he would send me boxes and boxes of miscellaneous stuff. I don't even have a clue what's in there. There are a lot of bar L type double dies, some doubled eyelids for the date. And then there's a couple decent double die reverses. You know, I need to do that. That way I can just go ahead and spend it. But I seem to wait until I get literally, 60 pounds of it. And of course, my friend Brian Allen kind of got me into making sure I check my pocket change, because he checks his pocket change. And he finds a lot of good stuff. Coin 10. Kurt. 1. Minor RPM, but it is an RPM in the roll. Earlier die state on this coin. Couple little spots of struck through. There, that's pretty well struck. That's still got a step missing, almost 2 steps. But that's pretty well struck right there. Coin number 11, Carl. You know, I always, if I say I find something and I'm not sure, it's like, it's probably damaged. I always keep it. And it used to be every January, first of the year, I would go through a bunch of old coins that were sitting that I had put in tubes or put in jars or whatever, and go through them. And I always found stuff. That wasn't listed before, or I just didn't find it before. Half the stuff I put in tubes, I don't even try to identify it because I found so much of it. Especially when it's something that's like fly poop in the pepper. Well, there was probably moisture in the jar or moisture on the coins. That is usually how moisture gets in. But it's hard to say. Sometimes, it's environment. I live in Florida, and I buy a lot of coins from Florida, and a lot of them are great. And you get some of them, They're not so great. On an 88 copper looking dime last night. Nice. There are examples of missing clad layers and stuff like that. Then you got to get into weight and stuff like that. I am definitely no expert when it comes to missing clad layers. So one little RPM so far. But I guess it's better than getting skunked. Coin 14, Mark Thomas. Seen this die before, so we don't even have to look. The best way, if you ever wash a jar that you're going to store pennies in, Robert, is leave the lid off of it for a week before you put anything in it. Make sure that everything is dry. I would take the coins out right now, because if it's got moisture in there, it's going to continue to deteriorate until it's dry. Sometimes you can use, there's a product called Verticare or something like that. That will take some of that green off sometimes if it's not too old. I've never tried it. So don't shoot the messenger. But if the coin's got any value at all, don't do anything to it. Isolate it from everything else. And get the zinc ones. Yeah, don't store zinc with the old copper coins. It's not a bad idea, Blaine. I never really thought about it until you just said that. Coin 17, Blaine, just in time. Don't recognize that one, so I'm gonna just double check the reverse because I'm not sure. I did see that one before. Coin 18, Tim Weber. Come on, let's get a couple more RPMs. Don't be so stingy. I might add some stuff to our free veal on Christmas Eve. Probably be Christmas Eve early because I don't want to interrupt everybody spending the evening with their family and such. Oh, a lot of times there's just moisture in the air, and if you just wash that, there could be, very humid air in that jar. It doesn't actually have to be water droplets. All right, kin of mine. Hope to see you soon. We will be here. I got reveals tomorrow. Next coin, Paul Hampton. Yeah, hair dryer, and then but let them cool down naturally if you do that, because change of temperature can cause moisture. All right, I'm counting on it, kid of mine. Coin 21, Sissy. Ah, that's good. That's good. Just be careful that you don't, like I say, wipe too much or too hard. Uh, and it might be something that you can get off with just water, and then let them naturally dry. There's our little die. Worn die crack. Let me wet my whistle here real quick. Yep, yeah, just don't rub too hard. I agree, Blaine. But I always err to the side of don't touch it if it, you know, if it's a big money coin, do as little as you possibly can do, or do nothing. Yeah, there's a lot of people, Robert. I was thinking of possibly doing some sort of broadcast on Christmas so people could come in and at least chat for a little bit. But it's up to my boss. She's got the final say when it comes to Christmas and what I'm doing. If she likes what she bought herself, then chances are I'll be on my own anyway, so I'll have nothing better to do than look at some coins. That's the best advice. Don't reinvent the wheel, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, that could be it, but I'd venture to say there was something in the water too, because most pennies don't change color when you put them in boiling water. Now I can tell you, when I moved to Florida, I was going through a roll of 57D pennies that was spread across my desk, and for a couple hours each day, the window there was sunlight. And I can tell you that UV definitely toned these coins. They had some beautiful purple toning from ultraviolet. I wish I could find that roll. It had some amazing stuff in it. I know I still own it. Well, maybe I'll get on during Christmas and we can at least have a chat and do some sort of search or. All right, let the other little dog in. Yeah, it's changed in here. Well, go ahead and lay down. Oh, don't trip. Seen this die? This is the 4th example of this die. You know, the last person that I know that boiled coins, it was to get like that black dirt and grease, and they weren't coins that were really worth any. These were coins that he was going to search for die varieties. I wouldn't even do that if I didn't. You know, a lot of times you get these old coins from old wheat bags, and the letters and all the little crevices are full of dirt and grime. Dirty water, working and lurking. All right. 1 RPM. The last roll was a skunk roll. I should have about 200 rolls pulled out to do reveals on after the New Year's, hopefully. That's my plan anyways. I have found a lot of boxes of just miscellaneous bank rolls that I haven't ever even opened and looked in yet. So there could be a lot of neat stuff to do reveals on. Tilly Mae, come on, come lay down. One RPM so far, Dirty Water. I think it might be a different die state of one that's listed, but I need to do some graphics work to double check that. Right? I'm trying. And I'll know if I find another one. Oh, what's that? No, that is just dieware. Come on, lay down. No getting into trouble. Remember, you know the rules. Her office has changed around, and she's got to check everything out now because everything's moved around. Her bed's on the other side of the room. So now she's sniffing and pawing at everything. Hey, Matilda. Come on. No getting back there. Was the communist cat in here? Huh? That's the only reason you'd want back there. Is if she got locked in here and there's a stealth cat turd back there. Now I got to pull that out. 09, yeah, and I can't believe it didn't have anything in it. I thought I found one, but I ended up finding 3 more, and they didn't have it. It was a blister. The reveal is going to be Christmas Eve morning, or probably right around 11:30, 12 o'clock. That way I don't spoil everybody's Christmas Eve. I am going to be doing 2 rolls, and anybody who's got coins here is in on it. We had 23 people buy in, and that was what I was going to do, is just, if there was 20 or under, I was just going to put everybody in for 2 spots. So if I owe you coins, you're in. So there's like 70-something coins going to be given away. Reveal, that's right. And I might come up with some other giveaways to give away then too. We'll have to see what happens. is not that coin, I don't think. Let me look. It is not. All right. So I hope to see everybody at the reveal, or free veal. Well, there's only 232 of them. If you're on eBay, don't buy them because they're fake. They're overpriced and they're handmade and they're nothing but damaged coins. So don't waste your money on those coins. The true Omega Privy Lincoln cents are worth thousands. I did see that the Mint will be selling rolls and bags of 2026 Lincoln cents. Not sure if they're going to be any details about it yet, if they're going to be made of copper or if they're going to be made of zinc again. They've had no real details on it. And I actually, from an ethical standpoint, I have a problem with them selling 2026 counter-stamped coins when the 2026 coins aren't available. They're pre-sale coins. People are giving them $50 for 2 months to hold on to. They haven't even made the coins yet. DC, welcome. Robert Bruce asked if anybody had purchased any of the 2026 coins, pennies with the Privy mark on them. And if you did, you bought them from Stacks and Bowers because they were the only people that could sell them. All the ones on eBay are fake. Actually, if you're lucky enough to get them in 2026, they won't be fake. They'll just be damaged coins. Because it'll be a counter stamp. I don't know if anybody's ever seen these pennies that have like John Kennedy's facing Lincoln stamped into the coin. That coin is manufactured outside of the mint. It is damage. But a lot of people collect those because they're kind of cool. The Masonic Temple used to do it. The Masons used to do it. They would stamp their coins, give them away when they had little events and stuff like that. So please do not fall for it. If you're going to buy a 2026 Lincoln cent, buy it from usmint.gov or wait until people have them if you just want to buy one. And buy one without the stamp on it. Yeah, if it's on eBay for $40, it's not real. Last I saw, they were $45, I think. And I'm actually surprised that eBay's allowing the listings. But I do think that if you read down in it, it just says that it's a counter-stamped coin and not a privied coin. $49.99. Yeah, that's right, Blaine. One RPM so far. That stinks. And it's DC is the owner of the coin. The Mint is manufacturing Lincoln cents. They're not for circulation. They're what's called NIFC. Now they can put NIFC coins into circulation if they are deemed needed, especially until the legislation is passed by the Congress. now it's just everybody's kind of agreeing that they don't need to make them. And like Chuck has said a million times, there are 300 billion or 30 billion, 30 billion cents still in circulation. There's plenty of Lincoln cents. There's not a shortage. I don't understand why people think there's a shortage. Just like the Kennedys. That's right. Matter of fact, the website says Kennedys and Lincoln cents are going to be sold in rolls and bags. That's all it says so far. I would love it if they sold the Lincoln cents in $50 bags, like the old $50 bags. That would just be too cool. But something tells me it's going to be a $5 bag or something like that. Something cheesy. I mean, I understand it that they don't do a full-size quarter bag, because I think a full-size quarter bag's $1,000. Well, the old quarter bags. I doubt that, DW. I bet you if they sold a $50 bag, it would be more like $250, especially if it was copper. I mean, I don't know. They haven't said, but it's probably going to be zinc. Yeah, it's hard to say what they're going to do. They might. I mean, they might have planchets left. Nobody knows how many planchets they actually still have. They could have enough planchets to make pennies for 20 years in at the mint still. Well, you know, what are they? They're getting 25 or 30 bucks a roll for a $10 roll of quarters. I mean, I'm just saying, it would cost them a lot of money to ship them. Because that's, you know, a medium flat rate. I guess they could do a medium flat rate box. But hopefully the guy's got a good back. 1 RPM. That, well, it's better than no RPMs. But that's terrible. You go to US Mint. Is it usmint.gov? Let's see. And it's just a regular website. And you can buy. Here, I'll put the link to it. Verifying I'm human. You got to be kidding me. There's the website, Robert. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for joining. Hopefully we got some better luck tomorrow. 84p, I mean, it very well could be a nothing roll, but hopefully it's not. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for joining again. It makes my day to hang out with you guys, and if I don't see you at the reveal tomorrow, I'm sure I'll see you somewhere in the coin neighborhood. We'll talk to y'all later.